Hey, this is the Janet Ray podcast with This Is How We Did It. And we are talking about your goals today. I'm going to tell you how to achieve your goals. There's 6 easy steps that I think you can handle. First of all, why do I even feel like I can be giving you this advice for achieving your goals? Well, as of January 1st, 2020, I have consecutively run at least one organized race every month for the last 100 months. Yeah, you heard that right. Not for a year, for 100 months. That's 8 years and 4 months of running, of continually doing something that I put my mind to set that goal. That's why I'm going to give you some great advice using what I've learned along the way to help you achieve your goals, okay? So always ask questions. Somebody's giving you advice. Ask why they think they should be giving you that advice. Okay, don't just willy-nilly take advice from people, but I think that this will definitely help you out on your goals. So as soon as I say number 1 on the 6 things you can do to achieve your goals, you are going to go, really? Are you kidding me? Number 1 is make a plan. I know, and I know what you're thinking. I hear this from everybody. Everybody always says, make a plan. How lame. Hey, if everybody's saying it, there's a pretty good reason why. You have to have a plan. So I knew, like back in October, okay, that, my 100th race was coming up. It was very important to me. January is a hard month to run in because there's so few races. You're dealing with weather and stuff like that. You're dealing maybe being sick and other things like that. I knew there were 2 races locally, January 1st or January 26th. Those were the 2 races that were available to me in January, even though I had New Year's Eve party, that meant I was going to bed late and I would be getting up super early. But I knew going into it my options, and because of the weather, I chose to suck it up and go with that January 1st race. Next month, I can tell you, I'm running on February 1st because I'm busy 3 other weekends in January. So I had to search to find a run that was available to me on the weekend that I could run. I can tell you what run I'm doing in March. It is all about a plan. If your goal is to lose weight, you cannot wake up Monday morning, go into your kitchen and eat the same things you've been eating all, holiday long or all month long and expect to lose weight. You have to wake up Monday morning and go, I know what I'm eating for breakfast because I bought it at the store yesterday. I know what I'm eating for lunch. I know that when we go out to work lunch, I know where we're going to go and I know what I'm going to eat there. You have to know these things before the time arrives. And the only way to do that is to plan. You have to have a plan, okay? You're training for a marathon or a half marathon. You know how many miles you have to run every week, right? To be able to work up to that mileage. When I'm training for a marathon or a half marathon, I will look at the weather. I'd be like, okay, I got to run 10 miles this weekend. So which day has the better weather? Is it Sunday? Is it Saturday? Is it Friday? And I'm going to pick the day that has the better weather. You have to make a plan. Okay. Number 2, don't get caught up in helping someone else accomplish your goal. That's right. Don't get caught up in helping somebody else accomplish your goal. So here's what happens. As soon as you get rolling on your goal, people are going to notice. People are going to notice that you're losing weight. People are going to notice that you're talking about it on social media and what you're doing. And they are going to start seeing you climb that ladder because you're working towards that goal. And it's very appealing to everybody else, which is fine. It is perfectly fine to see somebody else go, hey, I like what they're doing. I'm going to mimic that. Okay. The problem comes when you get too many cooks in the kitchen, or what do they say? Something like, if one man A man who has one clock always knows what time it is, but a man who has multiple clocks, like he has no idea, right? So, and this has happened to me. You know, I have several friends that I run with in different races. You know, I've ran by myself. The people I ran my first race with are not the same group of people that I ran my 25th race with, or my 65th race, or my 89th race, or my 100th race. They are not the same people. Does that mean I don't like the people that I ran my first race with? No. It means they didn't fit into my schedule for my plan, okay? If I am going to run a half marathon and say I'm running with one of my friends, then we work out our schedule for when we can run. Okay. So let's say somebody else is like, well, hey, I want to run with you. That's fine. This is when we're running. If you can come meet us when we are running, because we have a plan and we have this goal, then you are more than welcome to come. But if I'm looking at a month like February and I know I'm busy for 3 months or for 3 weekends out of that month, then I can't work around your schedule to achieve my goal. Does that make sense? And I hate to say it like this, but sometimes people get their feelings hurt. And you have to step back and say, this is not about you. It's not that I don't like you. It's not that anything else. But right now, I am focused on achieving this goal because it's my goal. Do not get wrapped up in helping somebody else achieve your goal, okay? Number 3, get comfortable feeling discomfort. Comfortable feels so good. And that's why I think a lot of us have to have resolutions and we have to have goals, because we are so comfortable that we've been in this situation or whatever, and then we finally realize, hey, I got to change my life. I got to do something different. I need to do stuff different. I need to lose weight, or I need to get healthy, or I need a new job because I'm comfortable where I am. So I'm going to have to feel some of that discomfort. This has happened to me numerous times when I've been running. So like back in May of like 2014, I signed up for a race and I was going to do it by myself. It was one of those, this is the race I have time to do. I'm going to go do it. And I showed up. I kid you not. There was like 50 people at this race and they were all athletic. And I just looked at them and I thought, oh, this is so sad. I'm going to be the last person here for this race. And I kid you not, I almost turned around and left. I almost left, even though I'd paid my money, picked up my packet and everything. I almost turned around and left because I was like, I don't want to be the last person. But I got comfortable with that discomfort. So my first sprint triathlon, which my first year of running, I went from running, a 5K to a 10K to a half marathon to triathlons, which ended me with a half Ironman triathlon. It was just a crazy year. But before my first sprint triathlon, I prayed all night long that somebody would come to my house, slice all 4 of my tires so I would have a valid reason on why I could not go do that race. I was so mad when I woke up the next morning and nobody had sliced my tires. Like, what's wrong with you? But we get so used to feeling comfortable that when we feel some of that discomfort, it just throws us for a loop and we just want to run back and be in our little shell. You got to get comfortable feeling discomfort if you want to achieve a goal. We were running Disneyland and we were running half marathon followed by a full marathon the next day. And we had been training for this run for over 6 months. And we did like all good runners do. When you're training for a race and you're busy, it's the holiday season and you skip a week or 2 training. And so you go out there and you just throw caution in the wind and, you start running and then you hurt yourself. It happens to everybody. Believe me, if it hasn't happened to you yet, it's coming if you're a runner. So, about 2 weeks out, we were behind on mileage. We went out and we ran a bunch of miles. And so I hurt my knee. And so I went to the doctor and I asked him, I said, like this run is in 2 weeks. I'm going to this run. This is very important to me. Will I do permanent damage to my knee running on it? And he's like, nope, it's just going to hurt really bad. So he's like, you can put up with the pain, just continue to run on it. You're not doing permanent damage, but you have to be comfortable with the feeling of discomfort. Number 4, it's okay to grow your goals. So if I had set out saying, okay, for the next 100 months, I'm going to run an organized race every month. And this is what I'm doing. You know what? Honestly, that goal would have been so big. I don't think I would have achieved it because I feel like I would have been overwhelmed by the goal, because here you are, looking at month, maybe 14, thinking, I got to go to 100. That's a big gap, right? That's a lot of time. But, that first year I started running, I thought, well, I'll run one a month, and I did that. And then the next year I thought, well, I'll carry this on. I'll run one a month again, and then eventually I got far enough along. I thought, oh goodness, I wonder if I can reach 100. So maybe that you have this big goal, but it's overwhelming you. It's weighing you down because you don't know where to start. You're looking at it and it's just too big. Break it down. What do you do first? What do you do next? After you achieve this, then how do you go it? That end goal and you dream about it, but let's break it down into smaller steps to help you achieve that goal. It's okay to grow your goal. Number 5, tell it to social media. Tell it to social media. Tell it to your mom. Tell it to your friend. Tell it to anybody who was listening what that goal is. When we went to Disney, so we had already run the half marathon on Saturday. We were gearing up for the full marathon on Sunday, and I told you I'd hurt my knee. Well, when you're running, you'll hear people talk about running marathons and they hit the wall. Well, the wall comes probably between mile 18 and 22. It's really just where your body goes, screw you. Okay. I didn't sign up for this. I'm done with it. Like, why am I even participating in this? It's totally stupid. And that becomes between mile 18 and 22. Well, they always say mentally prepare for the wall, and then that helps you kind of get past it to finish, up at 26 miles, to finish that race. So if you think about it, we had run 13 miles one day. Well, the next day at, I kid you not, mile 6 on a full marathon, that means I had just over 20 more miles to still run. But if you add that up, that's, my body thinks you've already run 19 miles. Like, I'm hitting the wall. My knee was done. And I'm just like literally about in tears telling my friend Tara, I'm like, oh, you just don't understand. I'm in so much pain. But the only reason I did not quit that run is because I had put it on Facebook. And the mere thought that I would have to get on Facebook afterwards and tell people that the goal they thought was crazy to run the Goofy Challenge, why are you doing that? You're running around a half and then a full. You can't do that. That to tell them that I couldn't accomplish that goal, that thought so scared me that I was like, even if I have to walk the rest of this race, I'm going to do it, because I do not want to have to get on Facebook and say I did not achieve it. So make Facebook hold you accountable. Make Instagram hold you accountable. Make all those social media pages. Use them for your benefit, because you don't want to have to go on there and tell people you didn't achieve your goal. Okay, finally, number 6, don't give in to the first excuse, okay? Don't give in. The longer you can go without giving yourself an excuse of why you didn't accomplish something, the longer you can go without doing that, the more likely you are to achieve your goal. I mean, think about it. I can tell you that I have woke up and I've went and run a race when it was 20 degrees outside with 20-mile-an-hour winds, okay? I've run a race when it was 110 degrees, okay? I've run in the rain. One of our half marathons that my friend and I ran, it was like 34 and like drizzling rain the whole time. And the only reason I know it was 34 was the entire race. I kept thinking, if it was 2 degrees cooler, it would be snowing. And we're running a half marathon, okay? The first time that I woke up and I thought, oh, I stayed up late last night. I really don't want to get up and do this. I would not be sitting here telling you that I have consecutively run at least one organized race every month for the last 100 months. That is a big deal. Your goal is a big deal. Do not give in to that first excuse. I can go a long time without eating cupcakes, but the minute I put that first cupcake in my mouth, all I can think about is the next cupcake. And then it's almost like you're starting your goal over. Go as long as you can without giving in to that excuse. Let's say your goal is to work out 4 times a week. And on Sunday, you've planned it out, and these are the days you're working out, and this is what you're doing. And then let's say Saturday is the last day of the week. You have one more workout. You're exhausted. Your friends are going out. You're getting ready. You've run out of time. What do? You know what you do? You put on your tennis shoes and you go out in your driveway and you run circles for a quarter mile to say that you got a workout in. Don't give yourself that excuse, because the minute you give yourself the first excuse, you realize it's not that bad. It wasn't that painful. It wasn't this. It wasn't that. You're like, oh, that's okay. The world didn't end because I gave myself an excuse. So hold out as long as you can before you give yourself an excuse. Just don't do it. Your goal is bigger than excuses, okay? So there you have it. Those are my 6 rules for helping you achieve your goal. Don't give it in to that first excuse. Tell it to social media. Grow your goal if you have to. Get comfortable feeling discomfort. Don't get caught up in helping somebody else achieve your goal. And the number one thing you got to do to achieve that goal is start it out with a plan. And there you have it. That's the Janet Ray Podcast.